Most people believe that renting is throwing money away. They believe owning a home is the only path to wealth, the ultimate adult milestone, the badge of responsibility. And in 2025, that belief is breaking people faster than ever. Today, I'm going to show you why renting is actually cheaper than owning in 2025. And more importantly, why the system doesn't want you to figure this out. Luxonians. This one truth could save you 10 to 20 years of financial stress. Let's get into it. Let's start with the illusion. The dream we all grew up with. You buy a house. You build equity. You're stable. You're smart. You're secure. You're doing what every adult is supposed to do. And for decades, this belief went completely unchallenged. But 2025 is different. The numbers no longer match the fairy tale. The math no longer supports the tradition. And the financial reality is finally catching up with the culture. In 2025, a mortgage isn't just a place to live. It's a 30-year financial contract that locks you into higher payments, higher risks, higher taxes, and higher maintenance costs than ever before. Meanwhile, renting, something people used to shame, has become one of the smartest financial strategies for anyone who actually understands money. Because the truth is, owning isn't cheaper. Owning is more expensive. Owning is more restrictive. Owning is more fragile. And owning is built on a system that benefits lenders far more than it benefits you. So let's break down the 5 real reasons renting is cheaper than owning in 2025, and why the wealthy quietly understand this while everyone else argues about homeownership like it's a religion. Reason 1. The hidden cost of high interest rates. The first reason renting is cheaper than owning in 2025 is simple: interest rates. Today's mortgage interest rates turn a $400,000 house into a $750,000 house to $900,000 total cost over time. And that's before taxes, insurance, or maintenance. That means the average homeowner is paying double the sticker price just to borrow the money. Think about that. You don't buy the house. You buy the loan. The bank buys the house. And you spend the next 3 decades paying them back, with interest so high it would make previous generations faint. Renters don't pay interest. Renters don't owe a bank for 30 years. Renters aren't tied to the Federal Reserve's policy decisions. Renters don't carry the financial weight of borrowed money. And renters don't absorb the compounding cost of high rates. When you rent, the landlord absorbs that burden, not you. And in 2025, when interest rates are at some of the highest levels in decades, that one fact alone makes renting dramatically cheaper. Reason 2. Housing prices are detached from reality. The second reason renting is cheaper is because housing prices have become completely disconnected from local incomes. In 2025, the median home price in many areas is 6 to 10 times the median income. Historically, it was 2 to 3 times. And when an asset becomes that inflated, it stops being a home and starts being a financial trap disguised as an accomplishment. Renting protects you from overpaying for an inflated asset. Renting lets you live in markets where buying makes absolutely no mathematical sense. Renting gives you flexibility. Renting keeps you out of a bubble. And here's the most important part. Renters can move as markets shift. Homeowners can't. When prices fall, and they always do eventually, renters walk away clean. Homeowners hold the bag. Reason 3. Maintenance, repairs, taxes, insurance. This is the one nobody talks about. The invisible expenses of owning a home. The costs that destroy your budget quietly. When you rent, your landlord pays for roof repairs, HVAC units, plumbing disasters, appliance replacements, property taxes, lawn care, pest control, structural issues, storm damage, insurance premiums, and all the unexpected emergencies that show up in home ownership. When you own, you pay. And these costs don't just add up. They pile up. They compound. They attack your checking account without warning. A roof replacement? $10,000 to $20,000. A new AC unit? $6,000 to $12,000. Water heater? $3,000. Property taxes that go up every year whether you like it or not? Thousands more. And in 2025, with inflation still embedded into materials, construction labor, and insurance, these costs are higher than they've ever been. Renters never pay these. Renters keep their cash. Renters avoid emergencies. Renters avoid debt traps caused by home maintenance. Renting is cheaper because renting is predictable. Homeownership is chaos wrapped in a white picket fence. Reason 4. Liquidity is more valuable than equity. This is the part nobody teaches in school. Liquidity, the cash in your accounts, is more powerful than equity locked inside a house. When you rent, your money stays in your life. Your money is accessible. Your money is invested. Your money is growing. When you own a home, that money gets trapped inside the walls of your house. You can't spend equity unless you borrow against it. And the moment you borrow against it, you're back in the debt cycle. Renting is cheaper because renting keeps you liquid. Liquidity is freedom. Liquidity is safety. Liquidity is power. Home ownership forces your wealth into one illiquid asset. And that's why most homeowners feel broke even when they technically have equity. Reason 5. You're not tied down in a shifting economy. 2025 is unpredictable. Jobs shift, markets change, cities rise and fall, and mobility has become one of the most valuable financial advantages you can have. Renters can move for better opportunities. Renters can leave a bad market. Renters can jump into a cheaper apartment and save thousands instantly. Homeowners can't. Selling a home takes time, money, and strategy. Selling can trap you. Selling can lose you money. Renting is cheaper because renting keeps you free in an unstable economy. Now let's hit the metaphysical truth behind all this. Most of the suffering people feel with money doesn't come from math. It comes from identity. People cling to the belief that, to be successful, you must own a home. That belief enslaves them. It makes them take on debt they can't afford. It makes them take on stress they don't need. It makes them chase a version of adulthood someone else created for them. Renting becomes shameful. Owning becomes the measure of worth. And none of it is true. Wealth is not about owning a home. Wealth is about owning your choices. Wealth is about freedom, flexibility, and alignment. Wealth is about moving when life moves. Wealth is about not tying yourself to a financial anchor that drains your energy for the next 30 years. Renting lets you stay energetically open. Renting lets you adapt. Renting lets you position yourself for the path of least resistance. Something every metaphysical teacher talks about. When you're free, you receive more opportunities. When you're not locked into debt, life flows. When you're not drowning in repairs, your energy is light. From a frequency perspective, renting keeps you in expansion. Debt keeps you in contraction. Renting keeps your financial vibration open. Mortgages keep you bound to obligation. Renting lets you create from abundance. Owning often forces you to create from stress. And nobody manifests abundance from stress. Renting is cheaper because renting keeps your energy free. So what does this mean for you in 2025? It means you don't need to own a home to be wealthy. You don't need a mortgage to build stability. You don't need to follow a rule that was created in the 1950s for people living in a completely different economy. The world has changed. The math has changed. Your strategy must change with it. Renting is not throwing money away. Renting is buying freedom. Renting is buying flexibility. Renting is buying time. And renting is buying the ability to invest your money into assets that actually grow. Stocks, index funds, your business, your skills, your future. This is the new wealth paradigm. This is the new financial reality. And the people who adapt to it will thrive while everyone else stays stuck in outdated beliefs that no longer match the numbers. If you want to escape the system, you must first escape the beliefs that keep you trapped. And the biggest belief people still haven't questioned is the belief that owning a home makes you wealthy. It doesn't. But understanding money does. Understanding energy does. Understanding alignment does. And understanding how the system works absolutely does. In 2025, renting is cheaper than owning not because renting is magical, but because owning has become so expensive that the math simply can't justify it anymore. And the people who understand this, the people who are willing to break tradition, are the same people who will build wealth faster, easier, and with far less stress than everyone else. Luxonians, challenge the belief, challenge the tradition, challenge the story, claim your freedom, claim your liquidity, Claim your ability to move when life calls you somewhere new. Renting is not the enemy. Debt is. Renting is not the problem. Outdated financial programming is. Renting is not weakness. Renting is strategic intelligence in a system built to trap you with long-term loans. And when you understand that, your entire financial world opens up. Welcome to Luxona, where millionaires are made.